Welcome to the TradeFit podcast, hosted by Les Clark Jr. from LCS Plumbing and Scott Rutledge from SKB Construction. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome everybody to episode 2 of the TradeFit podcast. I am one of your hosts, Scott, and to my right, your left.
Yeah, my left, Les, the owner, operator of LCS Plumbing and Cladding.
How you going, Les?
Mate, I'm feeling like this morning I'm a bit more refreshed. Obviously, we had to go at this yesterday. I was feeling a bit flatter than usual, but I was still feeling very dialed in. Obviously, feeling a bit flat due to a shorter week than usual, and the rain obviously getting everyone down, especially as a roof plumber.
Yep.
And a few other things going on in the background, but still feeling like present, and we can get through this.
Yes, we did a podcast yesterday, and it stopped recording at 10 minutes.
It did.
We didn't realise.
We're fucking amateurs.
Yep.
But we're learning.
We're learning, and we dealt with it accordingly. We didn't get angry. We just said, okay, what do we learn from it? And
we learnt we need to watch the record box.
We learnt that we need to just keep our eyes. So Les has been upgraded to timer watcher.
Mission control.
Mission control.
I'm the captain now.
We talked for 30 minutes about stuff, and then we realised. So we're here again. We decided to come in this morning and sort of not repeat what we said, but kind of see where it leads again now. But Les was feeling a bit flat yesterday. And I think we should delve back into that again because it was a good topic and it's a business-related thing. It's June.
End of financial year.
And Les, I'll let you talk for a bit.
Yeah, so essentially yesterday we kind of touched on why I was feeling a bit flatter than usual. Obviously, running a business in the construction industry is always tough and has its challenges. And I feel like this end of financial year has kind of brought along a few challenges that I myself haven't really faced in a number of years. I've been running LCS for good 8 years now, and I've always kind of been the guy that's had the answers, and everything's going so right, Scotty, until it's kind of not, and we're kind of not really where I thought we would be. When we kind of set out our year sort of hit list, and we're not financially exactly where I want to be, and feeling a bit of pressure in that sense, like cash flow wise, and which has a flow-on effect to obviously where you position you guys on site, where your mind can be, where you are personally. It's hard not to drag those woes and worries into your everyday life. But I feel like I'm still handling it reasonably well.
Yep.
In the past, I probably wouldn't have handled this sort of stress load as much as I have. And it's just due to, doing the work that we've been doing, reaching out, talking to guys that kind of like-minded, such as yourself, fucking red nut. And obviously working with Nico.
Yep. Yep. And it is important to talk to for you. You said yesterday you had another roof plumber that you speak to.
Yep.
At least you're looking at your financials like you should be. Because a lot of people, I reckon, would probably get a lot of anxiety around that, maybe.
Stick their head under the bed.
Yeah, I think so. And they're, the bank, you're just going through the motions. The money's there, but you're not really watching your profits and your bottom line of where the year, reviewing the previous years. Are you growing? Are you getting worse? Is it you've got to evaluate these things, and you're doing that at the moment. You talked briefly yesterday on that you've made changes in the last 3 months. So you probably find, would you say at the moment you are you're going through a new stage. So the next 6 months for you are probably going to be the time that you really review.
Yeah, well, it's weird. So obviously, like LCS went through, LCS went through like a rapid growth period. Obviously, we are the head subcontracting contractor for the roof and cladding for the block 3 years running, 2022 through to 2021 through to 2023, 24.
Minus celebrity.
Minus celebrity. Fuckwits are us. And, you know, we were doing huge numbers and we had a pretty big team. I had 12 guys full time and 6 subcontractors, like kind of full time on and off. And, you know, with that came obviously massive cash flow injections, you know, buying cars, getting dudes, taking on everyone's work, trying to, you know, feed this machine.
Getting Tundras.
Getting Tundras.
V8.
Putting superchargers in them.
Tundras.
Anyway, and as the world has kind of landed, as it's landed and everything's fallen into place, you know, we have to adapt. The workflow hasn't been there. I've kind of changed my priorities. So we've actually downsized, and we've been downsizing probably for the last 2 years, just slowly getting further and like smaller and smaller and kind of where I want to be, that niche kind of market. And this year we've kind of really gone from me and 7 to me and 4, which feels like a bit of a, it's funny because it was kind of like, it was an ego thing, I think. It was definitely an ego thing. I wanted to have everyone there and be the biggest and the fucking best. And I don't think that's a feasible option with the way it's working for myself as a company at the moment. So yeah, it's a challenge, but we're trying to we're getting through it and we're working through it. And with a new chapter always, you know, comes teething issues. And probably right now it's I feel it's a very tough time in the construction industry for subcontracting trades business owners.
Yep.
I myself am a bit up against it. I know you're not quite up against it. You're crushing it because you're an arsehole.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah.
Richest builder I know. So, yeah, but I think, like you touched on, I speak to a couple other roofers who are kind of similar size to me, and they're sort of facing the same sort of problems and issues, and it's good to talk to other people who are in a similar boat, bounce ideas off. And I think we touched on it yesterday, not feeling like you're kind of out of space and away from everyone and, you know, you're fucking alone. And I think that's the worst thing you can do, you know, if you just shut yourself off to everyone and the outside world. You know, fuck it, I'm not like them and I'm not like that and I'm doing my own thing and rah, rah, rah. Like, I think you need that community and like the ability to be able to speak to people and then not only speak to them, but listen to them as well.
Yep.
You know, it's got to go both ways. You have to, it's a two-way street. You have to be willing to listen to what people have to say. And, you know, when you give them feedback, or when you're speaking to them to give you their feedback on how you sound as well, and what, like, you know what I mean, like observing like what's coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, well, I was thinking exactly the same thing. Like I too have people that I talk to, my good friends that are builders, and there's only a couple that we would openly speak about all of the real nitty gritty, the margins and the finishing periods of, you know, all the challenges that come with being a builder, and it's good. It's amazing to have somebody there that is a good listener. And you're right. If you're listening to what you're having to say, you get just as much out of listening to yourself as you do listening to other people's advice. I believe that. Yeah, well,
I believe that's an interesting point of view, because 100%.
Yeah,
100% of the time you've got the answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just start talking, and all of a sudden you're like, well, hang on a second. I've got it. I get it.
Yeah.
I've literally troubleshot because I've spoke it. It's out in the world, and someone's listened to me. You know, and sometimes it just takes that person to observe what you're saying, right, and then go, hey, did you kind of just hear that? Like, why did you do that, and why are you doing that?
Yeah. Instead of just mindlessly babbling, and I think maybe a bit of that is because of the work that I've done in the past. You're doing the work now as well, and you're hearing the lingo that me and Nick talk or whatever. And even, my brain went to just then, like the weekend, I went away on the weekend with someone and they have a bit of a lot more of a rigid view of life than I do. And I had to sit there and listen to some pretty rigid conversations, but it's hard to not get drawn into that. So the work that I've done now, I would get drawn into that rigid negativity and I would start to spit a little bit of that myself. And then after about 30 seconds, I go, ugh. Have a listen to yourself right now. And I could pull myself out of it. Past versions of me, I would have just kept babbling. And at the end of the weekend, I would have felt really drained from it, but not really known why. But now I can do that.
You're quite aware.
Yeah, very aware. So when I'm talking to my builder friends or whoever, I can definitely be very aware of what's coming out of my mouth and then seeing if I'm being congruent or if I'm just talking shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that fucking sounded amazing. Oh, fucking hell, but I'm not practicing anything that I'm saying.
You're just preaching with no fucking bullets in the chamber.
It's a good, and that's what TradeFit, a huge part of it is about, is trying to attract other like-minded tradies that are either doing some of the work that we're doing already unknowingly, and to bring them into our community and grow together and learn and see what comes of it all.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, so yesterday we talked a lot more about this, but I think today will just take its own course. But today, how are you feeling about the next 6 months?
Well, it's interesting because, like, when you're going through growing pains or downsizing pains or financial pains, cash flow pains, too much on pains, it's forever moving and changing, right? Like, as a business owner, you feel like it's going to be there for fucking ever. You're like, fuck, I just don't know how much longer I can handle this, you know what I mean? And I think one of the most important things is to realise that, like, nothing lasts forever, nothing's, everything is impermanent. Yep. Like, it's a law of nature, right? Like,
absolutely.
And then I think another thing you need to make sure you don't get stuck in is, like, like, once you get over this challenge, it's like, it's all smooth sailing, right? Like, there's always a fucking new issue that arises that you have to, like, that you have to challenge. Yeah, and for me, this is something that I feel like I already had been doing for a long time, is not seeing that challenge and going, fuck, and just seeing it as a negative, more as it's a learning curve, and you always pay for a learning experience, whether it be financially, emotionally, energetically, there's always a trade-off to learn.
Yep.
And you've got to kind of just take that lesson and run with it, right? Like, learn from it. Yep. Like, don't let it, like, hit you and then you're stunned like a mullet in the water. You know what I mean?
Well, be grateful for the challenge.
Yeah, correct. Like, and it's funny how, like, if you actually look at it like that, how much differently that scenario can play out for yourself.
Well, just changing it around. I'm grateful for the challenge because I think you're doing a great job. You're young and you're gonna be fine.
Yep, most definitely.
How amazing is it having your own business and the freedom that will and can give you?
Oh yeah, massively. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, every now and then you're like, fuck, maybe you pack it in and you just go work for someone. But, like, could you imagine? No, could you imagine after you've been this like sovereignty, right? Like having your own thing. Like, imagine just going from, like, being and doing whatever you want when you want, like, within reason, Yeah. And then all of a sudden you just got to go back and work for somebody else and work towards their dream and their goals. So that's...
Well, I mean, I for me personally, I couldn't and I won't and I can never... And like I said, I do look at my challenges now. They're constantly coming up. I don't look at problems as being problems anymore. I think we touched maybe I touched on that in the last episode one. I don't look at them as being problems. I just look at them, can it be fixed with money? It's not a problem. It's an expense. I just muddled the words up a bit and it makes things better. And that's my job now, to be a problem solver and a
critical thinker.
And at the same time, obviously, I'm building homes, but I'm not caught up in the melodrama of it all anymore. I can problem solve with a clear head.
Yeah.
And the times when I'm not of clear mind, I don't try to solve all the problems that day.
Because if you do, you just make it
now.
Worse, right?
Well, I'll just get resentful, or that version of me would come out, and it may be that version calls the people that I normally do, but I just start to talk. I spit a little bit of negativity or whatever, and then I feel even worse.
Yeah, take out the people around you.
Absolutely. So just be kind to myself on that particular day, and I'll problem solve the next day.
Yep.
And I might just problem solve a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the next day, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
It will go on.
Yep.
The cogs will keep moving forward
Yep.
because, like you, I review things and I look at my books and I look at where we're going and everything. I don't bury my head in the sand so that I don't end up with big problems.
Yep.
And I think that's really important. But to get to that point of business, you've got to have done some work and get an understanding of how the brain, the mind works, and the ego, and put in the work, mate.
Yeah, most definitely.
Which is what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like you think I've always tried to keep like a level head and try and evolve. And like you think you're doing a fantastic job, and so a lot of time you can be doing a fantastic job, but sometimes you do need that little bit of extra help. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I am very fortunate. Like I've got really good people around me. Before I started working with Nick and you, and started on this TradeFit. Like my parents are builders of 45 years, and they've got their fucking heads on their shoulders. They've done pretty well on the Moyes Peninsula. And like even like this week talking to my old cheese, I'm like, fuck, like what are we going to do? Having her like reassure me it's going to be all right, and like we just put our steps in place, and this is what we've got to do, and to get back to where we were. Just knowing that I've got that experience, you know what I mean, like behind, like around me. Even talking to yourself and other good builders. We're still recording, just so you know. We are good. I'm watching it. I'm keeping my eye on it. Is very I'm very fortunate that I have that that kind of human being in my direct vicinity, I suppose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can still be a fucking knob with that tool around you. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to reach out to it, or if you're not willing to try and better yourself with these tools that you have that are readily available to you.
Yep.
So yeah. I'm just fortunate, I suppose, and I think that's what this beautiful thing is that we're trying to create now. Is that we're trying to give that kind of opportunity to others, creating this community where you can reach out to someone like yourself, or a wanker like me if you want to listen to my voice, because a lot of people don't have that tool. They don't have that resource, right?
Mm-hmm. And to be held. It feels good to be held accountable. Like I know in the past when Nick's pulled me up on my shit.
Yeah, you get really irritated.
And a couple of other people that are really close to me that would own. There's only really a couple of people in my life that would pull me up on my shit, and that's probably my wife and two other friends of mine that would actually legitimately say you're fucking bang out of order here, son. Everybody else would just nod and smile and it would
he's on one, whatever.
Well, but you need that so you can reflect on it, but also the past of it. Oh, who the fuck are you to tell me?
That ego get involved,
and it hurts sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, most definitely.
It hurts.
Being kept honest, you know what I mean? It's almost. I feel like it's almost something at the moment. This world, people aren't being kept honest. You know what I mean? And
well, I think we're just a lot of people, Les, are just literally we're going through them. We're going. Is it it's funny, I think about this, is the world that we live in at the moment, is it any more challenging than it was back in the 1980s, really? Like it probably isn't. It's probably just that our perception has shifted a little bit through social media and all that. And if you do block all that out, it become like, I remember a little while back I said started to put app timers on my Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. I actually got rid of Facebook. I'm trying to sell a dirt bike at the moment, so I'm back on Marketplace. Once I sell it, hopefully on Sunday, someone's coming to look at it. I'll be off Facebook
more cash to your pile.
Yeah, no,
fucking
to buy
rich prick.
To buy another dirt bike. And so I have a 45-minute timer on Instagram, and within a few days of doing that, my head was clearer.
Instantly.
I'm not making that up. Like, my head was legitimately clearer. I was clearer of mind, and I was somewhat more focused on my family every night time because maybe I was binge watching fucking ridiculous reels.
Yeah, well, this is kind of like a funny thing that happened to me this week. So like this week I knew like I was a bit up against it, so I was very quiet on social media. Like I normally do like a couple of stories a day.
Yep.
I've
noticed
hardly posted fucking anything. I was hardly on it.
Yeah.
Just because otherwise I get stuck in that comparison, you know what I mean? You see another, I see another roofer or another cloud, I'm like, fuck, how come
I've got to fucking outdo him.
Why did he get that gig and I didn't get that gig, you know what I mean? And it kind of starts a negative spiral, and then you go, fuck, like, what are they doing that we're not doing? And you start doing that comparison thing, right?
Yeah.
Instead of comparing yourself to that person, you can pick up the phone and like talk to your mate who's, just down the road. Be like, hey, like, this is where I'm at, right? Like, how are you going? You know what I mean? Like, and you kind of like you like normalize it as opposed to comparing yourself instead of having an open, honest conversation.
Absolutely.
I think that's an easy trap to fall into.
Comparing.
Yeah, fucking oath. I do it all the time.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to.
If you're, I suppose I probably do the same right now. I'm trying to think. I have deleted other builders in the past because I found myself comparing. I literally just would delete them from my Instagram because, especially the architects, because my background was architectural construction back in the day, and when I started SKB, I had to drop my ego and go start at the bottom.
Yep. Like everyone,
and then build.
That's a good lesson. That's we should touch on that. That's a great lesson.
We will in one of the episodes about. Having let that go now, that's not a road that I want to go down anymore, and that was really hard to do that. But at points in my life, I had to delete certain builders and architects because it just put me down. Oh, how the fuck? It just felt like I was up against it.
Why aren't they using me?
How dare they?
How dare they?
I'm the best builder.
I must be loved and liked.
Oh, I can do it so much better than them. Look at that shit,
Yeah.
So yes, and slowly I would add them builders back because it was ridiculous that I was thinking like that. But then, you go through them stages, you do it and compare, and you probably then, once again, having done some work, I can reflect on that and go, well, I know that when I'm doing that, it's something else going on in my life that I maybe should do a little bit of
but also, what are you
not
doing? You're not beating yourself up about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're just understanding of it. You don't go, I'm a fucking cunt, and you flog yourself over it.
No. Just I'm caught in my head, and I'm observing it. I'm looking at it. I'm putting it under the microscope.
Yeah,
you're right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not like, it's an easy trap to also get caught in, like, whipping yourself over it. Like something you've done that you now don't do. You know what I mean? It's very easy to also look back into the past and go, you're a knob. Like, why did you do that? And falling into that self-pity, self-hate category.
Embarrassment.
Like,
I don't tend to do that anymore.
No.
But
I feel like a lot of people would still do that.
Oh, 100%.
And I feel like that's not helpful for yourself either, or your business, or your family, or people around you.
No, or overanalyzing everything. Is there a fine line? Probably.
Yep.
Where it becomes unhealthy to start overanalyzing everything you do. Your Instagram videos and all that are cool as fuck. Like, you don't you just do it.
Yep.
You post it.
Yep.
Do you follow that plumber, BTP Plumbing?
I don't. I don't.
Do you know who I'm on about?
I know who you're on about.
He
Yeah,
fucking-
are we talking about the guy who screams at the camera and stuff?
So
Yeah.
I fucking if he ever, what a guy.
Oh mate, and this is the thing too, right? So like he's pretty he's originally himself. Like he's not. He's just running the beat of his own drum. You know what I mean? And
He's going places.
And that's cool. Like I'm all about that. Like and like you're saying, my stories and videos are funny and cool as fuck and whatever. But like I'm not trying to be.
Settle down there.
I'm not trying to be funny or cool or whatever. You know what I mean? And you're just doing like you. You know what I mean? And that might be your flavor. And some people, I think something that's really important in this BTB guy looks like he's got it sorted too.
He's killing it.
It's he doesn't really give he doesn't care about anyone else. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't give a fuck if you like it or I like it. He's just doing it because he's having fun, all right? And he's, you know what I mean? And he's enjoying it. So I feel like there's a great takeaway there. Like just do it for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And people will follow or people will like it or people won't like it.
That's exactly right.
Whether you do it or not. So just do it.
I mean, I've had little moments where I've seen videos of yours, maybe you're on one of my roofs and you're like, and I go, oh, fuck, Les, I can't believe you just said that.
Strap in.
And I've actually had clients start following you because they actually liked it. And
it's funny.
I'd be like,
yeah, okay.
I'm sure that I'm going to have the clients that see my name tagged on your Instagram and your cunt this and fucking this, that, and the roof, and then they're probably not going to like it, but that's okay. I can't control every one of my clients.
And I think that's and I get it too. Again, it goes back to you're not going to be everyone's flavour.
No.
But you can't control that. Like you can only be who you are, and just rock that, right? And. Luckily, I haven't really posted too many things that my builders are unhappy about. I don't think I've ever been told off by somebody yet. One of my builders.
No. Probably scared to. You were at one point.
I'm a nice guy, teddy bear.
All right. So
fucking way off topic.
Well, not really. We're just talking.
Yeah.
So. Where do we go from here? You reviewed your business. You had a look at things. I did the same. We've had an amazing couple of years at SKB. We're growing.
Congratulations.
And
that must feel nice. Does it feel good?
It feels validating to know there's still that little version of me that goes, no, actually, there is. I pat myself on the back because I look at that person that I was 5 years ago before drug rehab or rehab, and the broken mess I was, and I'm living proof that I've rebuilt and got to where I was. My mother-in-law recently said to me, we've just purchased another factory, and in Mornington, the next step for SKB with Third Element Design Studio, and my mother-in-law just looked at me and said, the best thing you ever did was put yourself in rehab. I could see that she was really proud of what we were doing. And there was a time there where she would really second guess any of my decision making because my
impulse control was obviously really low,
and now none of that gets questioned anymore. And we did. My accountant said, you've had another fucking fantastic year, and we're going really well. And he said, in fact, it was really nice to hear that the accountant that I've got, and I've had him for years now, he's really good. He's going to focus a lot more on my company next year, like one-on-one. I'm one of his biggest clients now, and help him guide me through that next stage. And that's exciting because for me, my next stage is to have probably more of a construction manager so I can then start to really focus on the business. The quality of the builds that we're building still will always be on my back, but the factory that we've bought down the road here, and what road, so that means Tristan are going to collaborate out of there, doing a lot more design build stuff. That's the next stage, but it's quite consuming when you're doing that stuff. I've got to really focus on it and get it right. So that excites me because I enjoy doing that now. I enjoy that, being that 2-3 steps ahead of the builds, building more relationships. That's sort of my plan for the next 6 to 12 months. It's really important to have those
Yeah.
I know where I want to be in 2 years.
Yeah.
I've got it written down on paper. I know what
It's
I want to do.
it's like you almost like it's like kind of business planning.
It is.
But
Exactly
but at the
that.
same time, you're also manifesting it, right? Like you're speaking it into existence. And I feel like if you're just fucking sailing blind, like where are you going?
Yep, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and how many people aren't doing that? You know what I mean? Like how many people aren't doing what you're doing? You know, like
A lot. And
it would be. I reckon your percentage would be like the percentage of people not doing it and just winging it
Would be 95%.
Would be a lot higher than the
Yep.
people who are actually actively partaking in that planning and that visualizing.
yep.
You know,
And action taking. Investing back into SKBs. Like I said to myself 2 years ago when I first did a business plan, the next 2 years were not about making money.
Yep.
Instantly felt
Shit.
no, I didn't. It felt the opposite. It was it was a
okay.
relief. And
Yep.
the minute I told myself that,
Let yourself off the hook.
I knew my main focus was building the brand.
Yeah.
Quoting as much as I could, even the really small stuff, and winning it and building a relationship with a couple of architects or drafties, and that's what I did. And we still made money. We still did really good. And the next 2 years for me are about it's about doubling. I have a turnover that I want to achieve, and I will achieve it because I'm going to put the right steps in place. We've got a lot of work coming up.
The right systems in place
So
too.
the timing is perfect for me to step one of my main guys up to probably a construction manager.
Yep.
So he can then jump completely off the tools and run multiple jobs. So I need to replace that guy with another version of him. That's my job now. Find that guy and I enjoy doing that because I'm now, I've got my big boy pants on and I'm building my business.
I think just want to stop right there. Like I think it's important to point out like you didn't get that right the first time either though. You know what I mean? Like you didn't find that guy, the right guy straight away, did you? You know what I mean?
And I may not again.
Yeah.
Like that's still a possibility. But now, do you know what, Les, since the last couple of employees and stuff, I learned from that. I don't get bitter about it. I don't get angry about it. I just learn from it and go, okay, next time I do a job application, maybe I need to do it through Seek, not through Facebook.
Yeah.
Do a little bit more homework on the individual. And the other one I took out of it recently was, what can that individual bring to the business? Do they have contacts with another architect or another, what can they bring on top of being a great project manager or foreman or carpenter or whatever it is that I'm employing at the time?
Yep. Yeah, I like
so just looking at things a little bit different from a different angle, that's all.
I like how you're talking about like the Seek thing. Like I'm not a Seek guy. Like I'm very much a like hiring and firing through Facebook or whatever.
Yeah. Is that a good thing or about?
I don't think that's a good thing. Like in 8 years, I reckon I've hired and fired fucking close to 25 people. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that I'm like super proud of or like something like I wear as like a fucking badge of honor. I've had this many employees and rah. But like I think possibly if I had have gone down like a more professional route of hiring people, maybe that number wouldn't be so high. In saying that, I'm super happy with the guys that I have now. Right, I really love my team and who I have. Like I think they're fucking the guys that I've got are perfect. They suit my mold beautifully. But I feel like a lot of the time people hire people through like closeness, I know this guy.
Yeah,
he's also
100%.
looking, and then you kind of, because you're like, well, we've already got that like point of contact, right? So it's like a comfortability.
Yep. And
but is that a hindrance?
Well, we generally hire when we absolutely need them. And you panic hire.
Yeah.
Fill the void. So I suppose what I'm trying to get at is that in the planning, I know that when I did upscale, you know as well as I do, I employed 2 project managers.
Yep.
I did them prior. They were very well paid, and they were on the tools just for a little bit while the jobs that they were going to be managing were coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
I had acceptance. I didn't wait until they were coming out of the ground going, right, I fucking need a project manager today. Get on Facebook. Let's find him right now. You've got to preempt it. I know where I'm going to be in the next 12 months, so I need to then build the team to then be there and not overthink it. It's just it's going to cost me a little bit of money, beforehand, but then when it's all established, it should all work out and everything will be great. So maybe advertising on Seek and that is a good thing. I don't know, but maybe it will draw that more refined person who wants to grow and they're not putting an advert on Facebook, maybe not. I'll find out. At the moment, our team is small. Like I have got rid of a couple of guys.
You've really cut it back.
But we're also, the next builds for us are, they're really nice houses, but they're easy to build. They're easy builds. Exactly what I want to be doing. And so we've got a framing crew now that that one of my main project managers has gone, mate, he's a fucking gun. So we've had him quote some of our work.
I know the guy.
I will be using him.
He's a gun.
And so
he stands a nice frame.
I had a bit of a bad experience with some carpentry crews, but I'm not going to give up on it. Just from one experience, I know that as a builder, that's going to be a really good avenue to go down for having a construction manager to just have a crew of framers come through. And then maybe we might progress into a lock-up crew. Again, there's that little thing in my head that goes, you can't do it, but you can if you just put in the systems in place and be very, very black and white during the quoting process and what your expectations are. And you have those conversations with the lock-up crew. Can you meet these expectations? Like, can you provide this service from A to B to C to D without any real problems? And at the end of D, the quality's there. Can you do that? Yes, we can. Okay, cool. We're on the same page. But if we get to A, B, C, and there's problems, and we get to real bad problems at D, there's going to be consequences from that financially for your business, But if you have them conversations early on, Les, I can't see it being an issue.
No.
So we're also at the moment looking into that. So I'm going to start doing a lot more homework over the next 6 months on some crews of guys that can come in and just help us on some of these projects. The big flash architectural stuff, maybe it's a lot harder to do that, but the builds that we're doing at the moment, they're not overly complicated builds. That's exciting.
Well, I guess it's just a question for them, like their capacity versus, can it meet your expectations? You know what I mean? And how do you manage yourself, I suppose, in sort of leveling to accept somebody else's capacity? I feel like that's a big one for myself to overcome. Like, I struggle to kind of understand other people's capacity. It's something I've been really trying to work on. Like, how do you go about that? Like, what's...
Well, I've been doing this now for 30 years, just under 30 years. So I'm conditioned to, it's going to sound quite rigid, to people not meeting my expectations on builds. So from when I was a chippy to project manager to then starting SKB. I've always been a very patient person when it comes to that, because I've always held the trades, and I still will continue to do that, holding people's hands through the process to make the outcome as close to what I envisioned as possible. So I deal with it by just learning from it and thinking, how can I delegate the people around me to help that process be easier? I.e., Karen in the office is very diligent now with our contract proposed. We do contracts for subcontractors. You would have seen one of them at Mount Martha. And in there, it's got the stipulations of.
We just run off handshakes.
Yeah, and there is still a version of that, but we're getting better at that. We're gonna keep working on that so that the expectations are really black and white, and they're kind of. And then hopefully it works out, and it won't always work out, and we'll evolve. But
well, I suppose this all comes down to good communication, right?
Absolutely, good communication and patience. But there's a point though, isn't there? I know for us there is. It's just like, okay, we keep using this same trade and they keep making the same mistakes. That now I just move on. I go, they're not getting it, and that's okay. We'll move on to the next tradesman. And again, TradeFit will hopefully be a great way for me to also, as a builder, to meet other mindful tradesmen that are aligned with those values because it's one thing. Price isn't everything.
No.
You've got a tiler that lays a tile at $70 a square metre as opposed to 140. Doesn't mean that the 140 guy is going to be twice as good. So there is a fine line there of having a guy that's well aligned with your values and everything, but they're too expensive.
Yeah.
And that's another avenue. Like, I can't quote jobs with amazing guys, but their prices are too expensive. I won't win work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's that balance, But it's good to have them conversations as well with tradies. This is where we're going. Mm-hmm. Do you want to come along for the ride?
Yeah. I think it's pretty, like, you're just having a great bit of conversation there. To look at it on, like, the flip side of the coin. So obviously you're the builder, and looking at it on, like, a subcontracting trade side of things is, like, also knowing your capacity to fulfill the builder's expectations. You know what I mean? Like, so you're saying, like, there's that guy that's at 70 a square metre, or $70 a tile, or however you price tiles. I don't know how tiles are priced. Obviously, I'm just a retarded roofer and clatter. Like, if someone turns around, they go, for me now, it's like, they're like, well, that's too expensive. Old mate could do it for this. And I go, all right, well, let him have it, then go for it. You can do it for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once upon a time, I would have been like, all right, I'll price match him. You know what I mean? Yes, I'll do it. And then you're under the pump because you're not going to make great money, and then you're fucking taking, you're trying to get the job done to make your money, and then you're not hitting their expectations. And I know, I'm guilty of that. Like, no one's perfect. There's been more than a couple of projects where we haven't hit, like, the builder's expectation.
Yep.
Because you've bent over backwards, or you have kind of lowered your capacity to meet the builder's high expectation. You know what I mean? Like,
you should never drop your price.
No. Look, unless, like, within reason, like, for example, sometimes you're like, hey, mate, like, we really, like, we're going to price this one. We really like to win. Is it something you can, help out with? Like, can you just take a little bit, shave a little bit off or whatever? Like, and I'm more than happy to do that, like, going forward, you know what I mean? But that just comes through great communication. Like, that's a bit different to someone going, fuck, mate, you're fucking $20 a square metre more, and you get guys like that.
It's funny. I see it all, dude. You've got no idea that, but there is a tradie that's done. They know if they're charging too much, man.
Yeah.
So the $70 a square metre tiler, and they've got the $140 square metre tiler.
Yep.
My $70 square metre tiler, fucking earns money, mate.
Yeah.
You do. I know he'll do it. He'll come in. He'll smash out 3 bathrooms in 4 or 5 days. Do an amazing job. Mm-hmm. You do. He'll hand an invoice. He's fucking earned good money for the week.
Yeah.
So then you look at it and go, well, the $140 square metre guy, he's fucking done amazingly well.
Yeah.
Like, he's done so.
Yeah, well, of course, there's guys that are out there price gouging. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong.
And there's a market for them guys. They're obviously surviving and everything. I think that they're going to find over the next 12 months that maybe they're going to have to, we're going into a really challenging time. There's a lot of builders out there that are struggling to win work at the moment and stuff.
Yeah.
Then times might change. They might not. But there is a fine line. And I think the tradie, the guy, whoever, they know if they're overcharging.
Yeah. Well,
if they're not winning work, then the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So your prices are very fair and reasonable, mate. You're very competitive. That's good.
Yeah.
Good for everyone. That's hence why you've got a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And, like you said before, now you're focusing on staying with the good builders, maybe.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, it's for me as a subcontracting trade, it's like cultivating that good group of builders that kind of resonate with where we're at on our business journey. They're doing, like, the work that we kind of want to be doing. And in saying that, sometimes still those builders will get jobs that we don't really particularly enjoy, but we do it because we want to work for that builder because we enjoy. We enjoy working with them. They treat us well, we treat them well. It's a two-way street. Yeah.
Well, 45 minutes.
45 minutes of fucking waffling.
We waffled.
We really need to get this sound booth going. We've got to get some sound noises going one day. we're still learning.
I'm terrified.
We don't want to touch the box.
We do have the womp womp womp. I'm fucking too scared to touch that box, mate.
Nah.
In case everything.
The first time you'd be scared to touch a box.
Yeah. I'm definitely not going near that box. Maybe soon we'll become adventurous enough to play around with the box.
Touch all the buttons.
Touch all these buttons.
Yeah, there's a lot of lights there. There's a lot of lights. Like, I don't know if many people have seen what these boxes look like, but they're fucking scary.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up now. Thank you for those that listened. Thank you for those that maybe some things resonated with.
What do we before we go? What are we going to touch base on next week? Do you think? Have we got Nico back in with us next week? Or
well, I don't know. No, I don't think we do. I think me and you might do another one next week, or we might even bring in a bit of a guest because we do have a third microphone.
Oh, a third one.
So maybe we think about
finding a third wheel.
Maybe someone we can talk to and bring them in and talk some more shit.
Yep. Fantastic.
All right. Well, thank you, and have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Enjoy the sunshine. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.